All right. Okay, so we're here on the podcast. I am super excited to have Stevie Wright with me. She is the breathwork guru of sorts in my world because it's so new to me. And she has a online membership called the Breath Channel that I have been using for the last couple months and find it incredible and beautiful. And so, yeah, welcome. So glad to have you here.
Thank you, Gina. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I have just started this breathwork stuff. So, Erin, my daughter, has been just singing the praises of breathwork for a while. And I feel like there's just so much resistance initially to even trying it. So, and we can get into that, but I want to start out with just you telling everybody like who you are and what you do and how you got started and your
Awesome.
story.
I'd love to. So, yes, my name is Stevie Wright. I'm a self-love coach and a breathwork facilitator. And I like to call myself a portal opener. I really love supporting people in tapping into their limitless potential. And I do that through breathwork. I do that through coaching. I do that through somatic embodiment. Those are kind of my few pillars of the way that I work. And the reason that is I really believe that trauma, old wounds, limiting beliefs, stories, I believe they live in the body. I don't think they live in the mind. I think they kind of culminate in the mind, but they live in the body. And so while mindset and thought work is incredible, and I do a ton of it for me, myself personally, and with my clients, if you're leaving out the body, you're leaving out a big piece of the healing journey. And so when I do somatic work and I do embodiment work, we're basically working with the nervous system and healing at a deep somatic nervous system level. And so I think if you've done a ton of mindset work, if you do a lot of affirmations and different sorts of things and meditation all these things are wonderful. But if you still feel like you're bumping up against some of the same old patterns, the same old belief systems, maybe it's the same belief but in a different situation, it may be because you haven't healed it at a somatic nervous system level. And so that's what I want to really support people in creating sustainable transformation in their lives. And so I think somatic work is truly the end all be all. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
it's critical.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how'd you get started in all this? I mean,
So to condense 5 years into like a minute, I actually got started in health and wellness. So I was like, let's see, about maybe 23 when I found when I kind of got into health and wellness. And at the time in my life, I was really I call it my quarter life crisis. I had no idea what the hell I was doing with my life. I was working a dead end job. I felt really lost. I was like, you know, going home from this dead end, retail job, watching Mindy Project every night, and like, it's a great show, but it was not living. I really had this moment of like, what am I doing? And I know I have so much to offer. I know I have so much to give. I don't really know what that looks like or what it feels like yet, but this is not my truth. This is not my potential. And so that for me was that first kind of little taste of healing, personal development, transformative work was through my health. So I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I knew that I was not treating my body well. I was eating out, eating takeout 4 or 5 times a week. I was sleeping really late. I just wasn't treating my body with respect or like as a temple. And so I started to get my health really in order first and started feeling really good and really clear and really had a lot of vitality. And after doing months and months of that work, I was like, wait a second, I never even knew this is a thing, but I had heard that someone was a health coach. And I was like, what the hell is that? What is that? And so as I was doing more research, I was like, I'm motivating, I got good energy. I know a thing or two about this. I can support people. And I began my journey as a health coach. And I was noticing, Gina, in my health coaching journey is I would take on these clients, we'd be working together. And some of these women, we'd be working together for 1-2 months, and they'd come to me to lose weight and to get good habits, etc. And a couple months in, we'd really built a rapport and a trust with each other. And they start telling me deep trauma that I do not know how to help them with. And I'm
Okay.
like, here's a kale salad recipe. Like, I don't even know, like, I don't know how to help you. And I wasn't saying I don't know how to help you, but internally I'm like, oh God, like, I don't know
It
how
was
to,
different from what you were already doing.
yeah, it was completely different. And so I had sort of like another kind of aha moment of like, wait a second, if I really want to support people in transforming to at a really deep level, this is not about health. Like that's one component of it. This is not about food, this is not about health, this is not about any of that. And so over the next several years I went on my own personal journey of looking inward and starting to deal with some of my own trauma that I didn't know was there, getting into therapy, working with plant medicine, getting my own coach, just all these different modalities of starting breath work, really getting to know myself so that I knew how to facilitate a transformative experience for somebody else. Coming from like, okay, I hear you. I know what it's like to be in a shame spiral. I know what it's like to feel worthless. I know what it's like to not love yourself. Like, here I am. I'm with you. I've got you. Let's do this. Um, and that's how I'm here today.
That's amazing. And that's just happened in the last 5 years, you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like
Yeah.
who knew when you were sitting there feeling like you didn't really know what your purpose was to like just 5 years in the future and how amazing, like incredible things have changed.
Yeah, it's been such a wild and fruitful journey. It's been, there's been so many moments of lows and uncertainty and fear, and just as many
Yeah.
moments of bliss and ecstatic like joy and everything in between.
The life of an entrepreneur.
Right.
It is so exciting. It's so inspiring. It's so motivating. And when you see that you can really make a difference in people's lives, like it's so rewarding, really, truly. And yeah, so the breath work,
Mhm.
this is when people find out about this and actually try it, it is life changing.
Yes.
Like I didn't believe Erin when she started. I know she does breath work every day, but she was telling me how it was having such a huge impact on her day
Yeah.
and how well, how productive she could be, how purposeful she could be about what she was doing in her business and not like going down rabbit holes and just calming, motivating. Even her two little boys will do it with her sometimes, and the breath work has helped them. So I was intrigued, but I did bump up against resistance,
Yeah.
which I think is probably normal because there's just so much unknown about it. I didn't know, what is this going to be kind of weird, like am I puffing, am I, what is it?
Yeah.
So I was actually surprised when I did some of your breath work and it wasn't all like that. Like there's different kinds of breath work.
Absolutely.
Will you just kind of explain to people who've really never heard of breath work before what it is and what it does?
Yeah, absolutely. So really breathwork it's not new. It's thousands of years old. It was it's been used for really years and years and years and years in a lot of Eastern cultures, but it's really starting to become more modernized and popularized in the last 30, 40 years. And really like I think with now where we're at in the collective, it's becoming more and more popular. So breathwork is conscious continual breathing. And when I say conscious continual breathing, that means it's not just breathing how you and I are breathing right now. It's having awareness around how and why you're breathing. So when you're deep breathing, it increases the supply of oxygen to your brain and it stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, which promotes a state of calm. And as I was saying, like Eastern cultures have known about this power for centuries, but it really started to get used for healing and transformation in maybe the 60s with all the kind of new age spirituality movement. It's incredible for unearthing stuck emotions within our systems, for clearing stagnant energy, and really coming into a holistic sense of wellness, both emotionally and physically. And when we talk about trauma, I think breathwork can have a really strong place in the conversation of trauma. And a woman, there's a woman I've worked with before named Rachel Maddox, and she's a trauma expert. And she has this really beautiful definition of trauma, which is it's the residual energy that's stuck in someone's body after an event. And that could be a shock, an experience, a violation. And that trauma lives in the body. It's in the nervous system, like I was saying before. It's kind of like a cold, frozen, hard energy that stays in our system. And then what happens is that trauma often leaves us in a perpetual sense of lockout, being locked out of our body. And that's when we're sort of always locked out of the body, and it left in sort of our neck up, just kind of always overthinking, in anxiety, in fear. And that's when we're really not able to enjoy our lives as deeply. We're not able to feel life as deeply because we're actually not in our body. And so with breath work, because it is so incredible at getting you into your body, it can be wonderful for supporting you in your healing process. Because once we can breathe into that energy, that kind of stuck energy, it's like applying warmth to that frozen. And eventually that ice melts and that energy can move through. And so that's sort of what breathwork is, why it's helpful. But here's the thing: it's not just great for trauma. It's not just only for trauma. That's not the only thing. It's great for stress. It's great for creativity. It's great for tapping into abundance. It's great for motivation. It's great for connecting with your inner child. It's so wonderful. All sorts of things. It's great for clarity, for focus. I really believe it is the most healing modality and the most effective modality, because it is using everything already inside of you. It's just your breath. It is just your breath. Any person on the planet can do this. And it's, I'm just gonna like back up really quick. Not anyone. There are some contraindications for health reasons. If you have really high blood pressure, or if you have detached retinas, there are things that maybe you want to watch out for. But in general, people can do this. People can do this, and it's all your own internal supply. You don't need anything outside of yourself to do it. And that's why I think it's so powerful.
I was really surprised that when I got into the breath channel and I realized that there was some of them that only took like 7 or 8 minutes. That was a nice way to ease myself into it, because I didn't feel like, I know I didn't feel like I was going to have to just take myself and spend an hour doing something that I wasn't too sure about.
Right.
And so it was really nice to just be able to start in that way.
Yeah.
And it was like what you're saying, just a controlled breathing, just being more aware. Sometimes I think I stop breathing and I don't realize that I'm holding my breath.
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean, I might be doing something, I'm like, and then I'm not breathing, but even just breathing, like using my belly, I don't do that. It's all like stuck right up in here in my chest.
Yeah.
So it felt so good, just even for like 7 minutes, be able to actually breathe the oxygen through my body
Yeah.
and to get like this sense of clarity just from that. It was really incredible.
Right. Right. It can be that easy. It can
Yeah.
be that easy. And there is, like, what you're talking about is meditative versus integrative. So with meditative breath work, that's 45, 35, 45, an hour long of laying down, really intentional breath work. And that's how we get super deep in the body. And that's where deep transformative healing comes in. But even with integrative breath work, meaning you can integrate it into your day to day, 4, 5, 6, 10 minutes, like those are profoundly effective as well. And we can use both in our practices.
I love your midday slump one, because
Yeah.
that happens to me in the afternoon where I'm like, I just kind of have lost my my oomph and my momentum in getting things done. And it's nice to have something, right?
Absolutely.
Instead of a cup of coffee or whatever else, you actually sit and do some breath work and you're re-stimulated.
Absolutely re-stimulated, re-energized. You feel more awake, you feel more alive, you feel more focused. It's a good one.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Where would you suggest people start if they're like, this is so new, but I'm intrigued. I'm
Yeah.
curious about it. Like, what would you say would be a good starting point where they could kind of learn how to do it and try it out?
Yeah. So I really believe that my membership is the best place to start out for breath work. And the reason that is it's called the Breath Channel. It's $20 a month. It's super affordable. There's so much value included in the membership. And so when you're taken to the membership, you are introduced to a portal of tons and tons of breath work that you can choose from. So breath work, like as I was saying, breath work for anxiety, breath work for stress, breath work for letting go, breath work for alignment, breath work for anger, breath work for um, uh, aura expansion, breath work for
I
joy.
like that one, by the way.
Yeah, that one's hard, right?
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
It's a good one. So all of my practices in the portal are anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes,
Mhm.
right around there. And I really think no matter where you start, the channel is a great place to begin, because all of those practices are easy, they're quick, they're effective. And if you want to have a deeper experience, I offer bi-weekly live workshops, and that's included in the $20. And that's where we do the 35, 45-minute sessions, and we really do some deep healing work in those. But the channel is the best place to start.
And I should mention also, I'll put a link to this in the show notes for everyone. But it's not just the breath work that you're going to find in the breath channel. She has lots of other goodies in there. Some other trainings she's done and some meditations, and it's loaded. It's
Yeah,
loaded with good stuff.
there's guest speakers, there's embodiment practices. It's I really feel like it's a hub for if you need some support on your healing journey. It's a great place to be.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm so intrigued by all of this, and I I love learning new things anyway. I think I had read somewhere that you had gone to one of Dr. Joe Dispenza's retreats, but I had already, I have his book about becoming supernatural, and I love this idea of changing the wavelengths in your brain and how it stimulates parts of your brain that you're not using, and you're able to connect better with whatever you need to be connecting with. But you can get that using breath work, right? Like the way the two went together,
The way that
I'm curious about it.
the way the two go together is so great, and here's why. Joe, his work is, I went to his 7-day retreat in January of 2020 before the pandemic,
I bet that was
and
freaking awesome.
it was completely life changing. It was
I
completely
can
life.
imagine.
It was beyond. And it's the reason I think that that kind of work, if you're really into manifestation, if you're really into law of attraction work, breathwork is going to be good for you. And here's why: because when it comes to law of attraction, when it comes to manifestation, a lot of what Joe talks about, but I'm saying a lot, much of what many teachers talk about is is um, is the idea that the way we manifest is to first we get a clear picture of what we want to call in, whether that's an opportunity, whether that's a person, whether that's a job, whether that's a lover, whatever that thing is, that thing is that you're wanting to call in, and get clear on what it is, but then get clear on what it feels like. So if is there anything that you want to share about what you're manifesting right now?
Oh gosh. I'm manifesting a beach house.
Great.
I mean, I have a beach house already, but I'm manifesting like a big one that I
Great.
can have my whole family come visit me.
Great. So that beach house, I'm sure you've thought about what it would look like, what kind of elements you want, where it is. Like you've thought about getting clear on the vision. But who is Gina with that beach house? How does it feel in your body to have the beach house? How does it feel to sit at the dining table with your entire family and have a meal for Thanksgiving? What is it like to be on vacation there? What is it like to be on the beach? How does that feel? Does it feel expansive? Does it feel exciting? Does it feel fun? Does it feel joyful? Like really relishing in that. And can you teach your body emotionally what that feels like? Because if you can, which you can,
Yeah.
that is how we call it in. And so where breathwork comes in is breathwork is a perfect tool for that process, because it gets you into your body where you can where you can feel those emotions deeper, clearer, more, you can turn up the energy on those, you can turn up the radiance, you can turn up the impact of those feelings. So not only do you know what it is, you know how it feels, and now you're using the breath work to really ground those feelings in your body. That's how you collapse space and time. That is literally how you collapse space and time and draw that thing, that event to you, because you're already living it in your body.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm starting to experience some of these things, and every time something like that happens, I'm just like my eyes just open like, wow, like I can't believe that just happened. I do believe it. I just wish I would have known all these things when I was your age.
Yeah. It's the
I would
perfect.
have lived my life a little differently, but we're all where we're supposed to be, and
Exactly.
learning things at the time we're supposed to learn them.
Exactly.
But it's all of this stuff is just so life changing,
Yeah.
and you can truly make changes so quickly if you have all the right tools to do it. And all of these tools, like what you're talking about, manifestation and mantras and breath work, they all work together. And when you can use them all together, it expands what you can actually experience. So it's really
Yeah. Absolutely. It's really, really good work. It's so fun.
well. Where else can people find you if they are looking?
Yeah, so check me out on Instagram at @StevieLWright_. That's where I hang out a lot. You can find information about the breath channel if you want to join. Try a month, see if it works. You can cancel at any time. I know you're not going to want to because it's so good. I am enrolling for my Embodied Woman group program that starts April 22nd. It's a little more than halfway full. That's my 4-month group container that is all about healing transformation through the means of somatic embodiment. You can find more about that on my Instagram. And I also have 2 spots available in my one-on-one program, and that's my 6-month container, my really high level, juicy, I want to change my life all the way container.
Awesome. So where would they find those two programs, the last two that you talked about, the one-on-one and then the other group program that's starting on the 22nd?
The group program, I do not have, to be honest, I do not have anything like one shred about it on my website because it's been filling up so quickly organically. So I just had my assistant make some little graphic design slides of all the information. So if they want to learn about it, you can shoot me a DM. I can send you all the information. The one-on-one program you can find on my website. And if you have any questions about that, you can shoot me a DM as well.
Okay. All right. Wow. Thank you so much. All of this information is amazing. I know you're going to have a lot of newbies coming in to check you out and just see what's going on.
I'm
So,
so excited.
oh yeah. So thank you again. I appreciate your time. So grateful to you for that.
Absolutely, Gina. Thank you so much for all the beautiful questions. You held a great space.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. I will talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.